Okay, welcome back. Next up, we have Kim Brose, a contributor to the Matrix project, who's going to talk to us about pimping Matrix.
Indeed. Hello, welcome to tuning your chat. I want you to learn today how you can tune your chat by enhancing Matrix with widgets, bots, and much more. Just quickly about myself, my name is Kim, also known online as HarHarLinks on GitHub, on Matrix, and so on. I'm generally free and Libre open software and also self-hosting nerd. So if you're interested in that, you can also come talk to me. But my focus topic really is Matrix, since I discovered it in early 2017. I've been running my own home server for my community of family and friends. Since then, dove very deep into the whole Matrix ecosystem and am currently employed as a Matrix software architect at a small German company doing custom development for anything related to the Matrix ecosystem. And at the same time, I'm still an active community member. So one thing I like to do is Matrix community events. I'm part of the organization as well of the Matrix conference and similar. And yeah, also happy to be here and representing Matrix on the exhibition floor, just outside the room, down the hallway to the left. And finally, I'm also representing the Matrix community on the Matrix Foundation Governing Board. So if you're interested in talking about open governance for open source software or open networks and so on, then please also do come talk to me. But enough about myself. I want to talk today about how you can tune your chat on Matrix. So you might not be familiar yet with what Matrix is, so I want to just give a very brief overview. It's an open network for secure, decentralized communication, and with being an open network comes also a bit more. But it means you can use it on your PC, on your iPhone, your Android phone, all kinds of platforms. Even there's clients for KaiOS and Ubuntu mobile phones with web clients, native clients, all kinds of languages you can't imagine. And there are also other use cases possible. It goes even down, it starts at chat and it gets crazy from there. I'm going to show a bit about it during this talk, and you can do much more, such as even IoT applications. So, Matrix is a federated network. What's that mean? You can see here are 3 servers in the circles, and there are some users. So, for example, here is the red Alice user, and at the top here is the green Bob user. And they are on different servers. One's on matrix.org, another is on mozilla.org, but still they can communicate with each other. It's a federated network. It's also decentralized. That means the chat room here in the middle, that's not owned and controlled by a single server, but all the servers that participate in it. So all of matrix.org, mozilla.org, and example.org are part of this room. And the room exists in the cyberspace cloud somewhere, abstract. But that means if one server disappears, say, for example, matrix.org has some kind of issues and goes down for a bit, Bob from Mozilla and Daisy from Example can still continue to chat and use this room. It's also end-to-end encrypted. That's a built-in feature, so we have a high security for your message contents. I already touched that it's an open standard, so that means first of all, it's available to everyone to read and implement their own software based on this technology, but also it's possible to contribute back, similar how you can contribute to open source software. It's also an open network. That means you can just start hosting your own server, such as this example.org. Maybe you want to start your own server after this talk. And then you can communicate with everybody else in the Open Federation. There were yesterday and also on Thursday already some more talks about Matrix, so check out the recordings afterwards. Jan gave a quick more detailed actually than this overview about what all you can do with Matrix, and Nadine talked a lot about interoperability and what's possible with Matrix. But now I want to talk how you can enhance this chat experience. So this is my focus for this talk, and to do so I bought some demos for you. The first I want to talk about is an app or an extension called Hookshot. So as a human, we might call these things in a chat integration, because it hooks into your chat and then it gives it additional features, automation and similar. From the technical side, in the Matrix standard, this is a software we would call an application service. Why is that? That is because it's basically it's an authenticated microservice extension to the home server. So we have down here, you remember the example.org home server, and now we have also set up and connected the Hookshot application service to it. And so these are secured, and they use a special API to communicate. And so this way the Hookshot application service is able to use some advanced bot functions if you want to translate it to terms from, you might know, from another network. Demo time. This is an Element client, and I'm going to create a new room. I'm going to name it Hookshot Demo, and here we are. And then I'm going to invite to this room my Hookshot bot. There it goes. And now I can start talking to this bot. For example, I can ask it for some help. Hookshot, what can you do? Show us. Yeah, so as you can see, it depends on the configuration which services you enable. In my case, I have enabled the GitHub integration, the GitLab integration, the generic webhooks, and also the feeds service. But to actually use them, I mean, I can just show you. Let's use or let's create a webhook. Like this, I think, and now it will tell you, oh, well, sorry, to be able to do this, I need some more rights, so I have to promote it to a room moderator, because yeah, it needs this special access level. And try again, and now you see we got a bad reaction before, and now we got a small tick box, so room is now configured to bridge webhooks, yay. Something else it tells me, see the admin room for secret URL. So the first time you do this, it will invite you to a direct message, and in there you receive the also secret URL for your webhook. Let's copy that. And now we can use this. I will paste it into my terminal at the bottom here. And I have prepared a curl command. It's really simple. Copy, paste. So you can see I'm just calling some, I hope you can see, some JSON payload, and I will send it to the link that Hookshot told me to use. Boom. Here's a new webhook user. It's automatically created. And it tells us, hey, we received some webhook data. It's a message, and it says, hello, FOSSASIA. But it doesn't stop here, so you can use most of the Matrix integrations and bots using this type of commands. But there's actually something else, something nice you can do. We have the option to Hookshot setup widget. And now it tells us, please open the widget. That depends on your client where it is exactly. In Element Web, it is here under the name of extensions. We continue. And now we have this small visual control panel here. And if we look at the inbound generic webhooks, we can see, oh, here's our demo webhook. We can do some more with it. So we've just seen, it just dumps the raw JSON here. But that's, that can be useful already. But we can do even more with it. So we have this option here to enable the transformation JavaScript and also the response. And it will fill in an example, but I prepared a different example for today. Again, copying and pasting. I will increase the size a bit so you can read it. We basically, the essential part of such a script is to have the result variable, and it requires this version. And then we can set some data. So we use the input data as this variable from our webhook down here. And then we use the, we can set some fields. So this is the plain output text. We can also output HTML formatted text. We can determine the message type, and we can even determine what the response is supposed to look like. Let me fix this quickly. Message and message. We save that. Whoop. Let's remove the expiration date. We can see here there's a hidden debugging event that tells us, okay, that was saved. And now if we try this again, fingers crossed. Woo. Okay, so this part on the right-hand side here, we call it a widget, and I want to talk a bit more about that. That is my next topic. What the hell is a widget? I try to put it in simple terms. It's an embeddable extensions for your client that can implement specialized use cases. So right now we had a widget that enabled us to configure this Hookshot integration webhook. And how do you create such a widget? Technically, they are just web pages, JavaScript applications, but the interesting thing is there is an API, the widget API, supported by some clients. So sadly, not a lot of clients do offer it yet. Element Web is one of them. GoMax is another. But those clients that support it, they offer this widget API, and the widget API enables the widget page to talk to the Matrix client. And by that means, they can use your Matrix account to send messages, receive messages, and these can be text messages like we've just seen Hookshot send, but they can also be technical messages that you don't necessarily see in your chat client, but it's still using the same infrastructure. So I brought you the Neo board as an example for a widget. This is something we develop at work. And it looks like this. You have the chat room. Again, this is the Element client. And inside of it, there's now embedded this NeoBoard widget, which can show my presentation. And actually, this is not supported by all the clients. I have to go back here and enable the collaboration editing mode. Because it's embedded with Matrix, we have the ability to use Matrix both for storage and for communication. And in this widget, we have a bunch of features. You can see we can see other people's cursors. This is how it's collaborative, and you can see it. It's so fast it even moves. And with the collaboration mode enabled, it even allows other people to draw stuff on your presentation or your slides. We have all kinds of shapes. You can even upload images or PDFs. Right. And if I'm going to decrease the size a bit here. We can see in the chat there are a lot of hidden events. So if we enable in the settings to in the developer tools, we can enable showing hidden events in Element. And there we can see in the chat there are all these special hidden events which are not displayed by default, only in developer mode. And yeah, this is the proof how we can use Matrix for both chat applications. So I can also write here at the same time as also storing the whiteboard data. But it doesn't end here. I mean, you have seen this is these are my slides here. I'm using this tool. You can also use it standalone. So this is the same software basically running in a standalone mode. So that means your Matrix client, it can be, and it often is, a chat client. But you can also go and develop a non-chat client, which, for example, in this case, is this whiteboard. I'm going to disable the editing again. It's getting a bit crazy here. And finally, yeah, you saw we could see the collaborators working on the same whiteboard in real time. So Matrix even has support for its flavor of WebRTC. We call it Matrix RTC. So you can do both the chat level of real-time communication, but also like the video calling level of real-time communication. Next slide. Simple Matrix Botlib is a project, again, it speaks for itself. Thanks to being such an open ecosystem and standard, Matrix has also a rich SDK ecosystem. And you can find most of the SDKs if you go to the matrix.org website, to the ecosystem SDKs tab. And Simple Matrix Botlib is one such SDK for creating bots in Matrix. And with this, you can write a bot in just about 10 lines of code. So if you look at the documentation of this, yeah, there are a lot of examples actually how to do things. And they are all really short in terms of code anyway. So it takes away all the boilerplate. And I also can give you a demo of this. So for example, I have a bot. If I go and copy some nasty link that contains a lot of parameters, and then well, let's just invite the bot here. Zoop. Close the panel. So say that you have this bot and you send a message with a URL and it contains a lot of parameters. Maybe you don't even realize. This bot will detect if there's some tracking parameter and it'll remove it for you, so anybody receiving the message doesn't have to go through all the tracking. Yeah, if you want to find out more about this, you can read the docs at Read the Docs. And to finish up, tune your chat. I do this talk or similar workshops frequently at conferences, also especially at the Matrix conference. So yeah, I want you to tune your chat and integrate your use case with Matrix, your other application, your third-party service. I want also to hear about your use case, and for that I've started to publish my collections of things people told me about on this GitHub IO hosted page. Let's look at that quickly. You might recognize the look. It's a fork of the Matrix homepage, and it adds the Tune Your Chat ecosystem subcategory, where you can find my collection of funny plugins, but also guides and bots and less known SDKs, and also just ideas. And you can filter by a lot of things if you're looking for a certain license, if you're looking for a certain language like Bash or German or JavaScript. or for certain type of feature, maybe you're interested in monitoring things, so you can select the Grafana and you will find the Grafana to matrix forwarder. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hear what you explore, what you find, and what you build, and to integrate. So please check out the website. And that will be it from me. Enter the Matrix, find us on the exhibition floor, go to matrix.org, try Matrix, support us at matrix.org membership, and see you soon.
Thank you, Kim. We've got time for some Q&A. We have our mic runners. Do you have a microphone?
Your choice. The Hookshot chat again. Which one is it? This one? You mean this one? Well done, well done.
While we're doing Q&A, I believe I have 6 lightning talks. Any of the lightning talk speakers, can you please sort of queue up over here somewhere? Hopefully there are 6 of you in the room. Any more questions or, hacks?
Question. So, in the beginning, you showed that there was a network already established from Mozilla, Matrix, and Example. So let's imagine I host my own server. Can I enter this network and start sending messages to those places, or they need to acknowledge me and do some kind of trust relationship first? How does that work?
Yes, Matrix is an open network, first and foremost. And there's this open federation, which anybody can simply join by setting up their own server. It's also possible to create a closed federation. So there are some organizations who use both the federation feature, but also limit it. So for example, several state actors within Germany, several government agencies, they each have their own local instance or local home server, like one of these circles. But at the same time, they want to talk to each other, at least under certain conditions. And therefore, they define something like an allow list that says, okay, we only federate with you, you, and you, a formally known list by some kind of authentication method. And so that's possible as well. But the core of Matrix is that there's this open, global, federated network. You can simply join by creating your own server and behaving friendly.
Yeah. Then, based on the example we just saw, like, is there examples where people may join a network and just throw spams and create some problem? Like, what type of defenses we have about that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, naturally. That is always an issue with open networks. I guess most of you also receive email regularly.
Very regularly, yes.
Email, and some of it is explicitly spam, the other is just annoying. I have here somewhere about moderation attack, I think. Yes, there it is. So we have some moderation tooling, and these also contain documentation on how to do it at different levels. So there are plugins for your home server to prevent something outright, and also this is like you can block all home servers, similar to the closed federation I explained. And then there are bots that will manage blocking certain users. There's shared block lists, so we also have technical matrix rooms that contain what we call policy lists. Basically, there's a bunch of hidden messages that say, okay, we know this user ID, they behaved badly as a spammer, for example, and then your drop near bot, for example, this one, can subscribe to this room or to the list in this room, and then it will automatically block and remove these users from any rooms you set it up to manage.
We can probably sneak in one more before I start trying to wrangle the lightning talkers. Anyone else? Going one final. One more over here.
What is your presentation software? What is my presentation software? Yes, I use the NeoBoard right here. So NeoBoard is both the available as the embedded widget I showed in the Element client. but it's also possible to run it in the standalone mode, and yeah, you can do nice presentations with them.
And is it open source?
Currently, the core of it is open source. We have the widget mode. We developed it for, like I think I explained, we developed this application at my workplace. And which one is this one, is it? So the widget mode is something we developed for a customer who is actually relying on it being open source. It's a hard requirement. And we started developing the standalone mode as well, and we hope we can find customers so we are able to finance it while also publishing it at open source, but it's currently not final.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much.